If you're the parent of a boy, stop scrolling, whether they're a child or a teen. This is important information right now. I'm making this video because as we speak, I'm getting ready to go on air for a news segment covering something called sextortion. So if you haven't heard of what sextortion is, it refers to digital blackmail, specifically somebody using someone's inappropriate content, whether it's photos or videos, and using that as leverage in order to get more inappropriate content or in order to get money. Now, sextortion has become this epidemic specifically amongst young boys. And I thought, since I'm going to go and talk about this on the news, may as well give you this information firsthand. So make sure that you save this video because this is incredibly important. Typically with male sextortion, what we're seeing is the predator that we would refer to is somebody called a capper. So what these people do is that they go on live stream platforms such as Omegle, which I've already talked about, or they go on platforms like Snapchat, and essentially they pose as typically a young female when they're speaking to a younger male. And in some shape or form, they convince this young male that they're a real female on the other side of the screen, whether it's changing their microphone or using particular images, making them look like they're live images or making it look like it's a live person behind a webcam. But what they're doing is they're actually recording the other child. So once they get the young boy to also engage in inappropriate behaviors, whether it's sending photos or taking their clothes off on screen, that is where they cap. So this means that they screen record or they screenshot, they take that content, and then they come back to the young boy and they say, now you owe me $500 or $2,000, or I will share this content with the people that you know and that you trust. Young boys specifically are being targeted through live stream platforms like Omegle, Chat Roulette, Google Hangouts, anything of that nature, but also specifically, more so, Snapchat. Snapchat and Instagram are still the #2 platforms that are being most commonly used for sextortion, simply because that's where all the teens are at. And even more so, those platforms allow for vanishing types of materials, therefore making kids feel like they're more safe than they are. And so why are young boys being targeted for this particular type of sexual predation as opposed to the standard female? And the reason for that being that we don't normalize males being victims of exploitation. So young boys, when they're online, especially because they're on video games, for example, or online games, they think that they're completely immune. And that increases their vulnerability because they're less likely to think that they could be victims. In addition, once they get sextorted, because of the shame and stigma around it, they're less likely to come forward and report. And that's the only reason why these cappers are predating on these young boys. Talk to your young boys about internet safety, and if you want more tips on what that looks like and what conversation pieces to have, follow my account. Make sure that you like this video, save it, and leave a comment.